Welcome everyone to another episode of the Oregon Minute. We have a repeat guest on the show today who spoke with us about a year ago, Dan Donoghue of the Chocolate Caper. He's here to talk about some of the lessons he's learned as a business owner amid the pandemic, as well as another up-and-coming business amid the many that have opened in Oregon the last couple of months. So welcome, Dan. And as I just said, it's been a bit since we last checked in with you. So I'll repeat that question. What are some lessons you learned about running a business, the Chocolate Caper, and owning the Chocolate Caper, amid the health crisis and since we last checked in with you?
Sure. I think last time we talked, it was still, what can we do as protective measures? We're going to put up plexiglass. It was still very early. And I think, we learned a lot and we had a lot of new things come out of it. So from a learning perspective, we transitioned how we advertise a lot. We transitioned just how we sell. So we're doing a lot more online now than we used to. And our website is much more shopping friendly than it used to be. So we've learned a lot about making that as efficient and workable and usable as possible. But there's a lot of things like we learned the community really is still there and it's good. The amount of support we got from everyone, people coming into the store, and I've seen this other places too, shopping local and really supporting local businesses. It's been just a wave over the last year of people doing that. It's like it's hit the tipping point and people are just, that's where they're going. And so that's been a big change for just how much traffic we get and things like that. So it's interesting. We did not get smaller during the pandemic. We didn't grow a ton, but we were able to, keep level a little bit. And that's, I think, what a lot of businesses also learned was how to pivot, how to look at what you do and adjust it, amid a pandemic. So you get restaurants that start doing take-home meals or, just all the different things that have kind of come out of it. So I think the biggest, things we learned are the community will support itself. And we just have to be ready to adapt to how people, want to receive their information and their goods.
And so within the last year too, maybe as some people have seen come up through planning commission meetings, you were actually able to build the foundation for a new business. So
we're lucky because we're opening the Kickback Cafe, which will open Memorial Day weekend, we hope. With everything going on, fingers crossed, but should be Memorial Day weekend. And we got to really, everything that happened in restaurants over COVID let us take advantage of the lessons that they learned, right? So online ordering is huge. Ability not to get out of your vehicle is huge. The way in which you need to, the best ways to interact with customers when you're in self-serve and, we're back now with the orders where you can put your own cream in and do things like that. Just what do you allow? And so we got to apply a lot of, what we learned about how restaurants function and how they can, looking at the ones that are thriving in this and going, what are they doing? And we get to apply that to what we're doing a little bit. There's some things I can't talk about yet that we're going to be doing with the cafe that we'll start announcing over the next month. A lot of really what the cafe is about and what its goals are. So we're going to start letting people know about that over the next, over May, and then hoping to open on Memorial Day weekend.
Well, I'm sure people, with the wine reserve and we have Good Company and Kickback Cafe, I'm sure people are very excited for, having a summer where they'll be able to just walk down Main Street and have all these different businesses to visit. But so there's not a lot you can share, but what can you share, about maybe what starting with what sparked the idea to open a second cafe in Oregon?
Well, a lot of the cafe came from, if you go to Switzerland, France, a lot of Europe, you often see candy shops with bakeries or patisseries right next door. And they're very often, um, they're separate store. They're kind of like we're going to be here, where the entrances are right next to each other. Um, and so we've always wanted to expand to that concept. And with the cafe, we just want to be able to sort of provide a place for people to. The core concept there is that it's a dessert cafe. So we'll be open, 4 to 10 kind of thing. Have desserts, have baked goods, have all that kind of thing. If you want an Irish coffee or something like that. Just a good place after the restaurants. Not a lot of the restaurants downtown have dessert. And so we kind of figured people can go have dinner, come in, hang out for a little bit, have a cappuccino, have dessert, and and do what they want to do. And sort of think it complements the front end where in my head, it's like you can go to the wine reserve, have a glass of wine, go over to Ziggy's or Good Company or La Roca's or any of the good places, and go there, have dinner, and then come over and have some dessert. So we will have all that. We will be open in the morning with coffee as well, so we'll have a full coffee service. And yeah, we won't be selling. I should say we won't be selling bulk baked goods. Like we're not going to have bread. It's more morning items, pastries, things like that. A lot of it's going to be, honestly, we've been asked a lot what our menu will be, and it is what is fresh, what is seasonal, and what do we feel like making. And when I say we, I mean my wife, Elizabeth, who is really behind everything, and is the one who's the baker. So she's really going to be focusing on what's fresh, what kind of produce can we get locally, what kind of ingredients are we getting locally in season, and then all right, off that, this is what we'll make. And it's going to be very variable day to day in terms of what we have. So it's going to be a lot of fun, I think.
I'm so excited. For you have your morning larks who are able to come in and maybe get a dessert, or just get some coffee to kind of get ready for the day. And then of course you have your hours at night. Like I like the idea of having Irish coffee just to punctuate my day. Yeah, that sounds so exciting, and I'm really excited for you and Elizabeth. But then why call it Kickback Cafe?
That's some of what we'll be talking about over the next month. It's definitely a place to kick back and relax. So there's definitely, that element to it. And then there's a couple other of the main other reason is kind of why the cafe is open. And that's the one we're going to hold back for just a little bit longer. In part because some aspects of it we have to finalize too. The sort of just logistical part of it. So the exciting news coming in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I would say. Exciting for us, at least.
I'll be watching my inbox, that's for sure. So we know when we expect the cafe to open, and you've kind of given us an overview about like what it will include. But I'm curious about how we maybe going back to lessons from the pandemic. How do you anticipate balancing running a chocolate shop as well as Kickback Cafe? Maybe are we going to see some chocolate caper themes, some familiar things when people visit Kickback Cafe? Or yeah, how do you balance those two, running two businesses?
When I figure it out, I'll let you know. Right now when we're in the final crunch of construction and appliances and recipes and menus and layouts and health inspections and all sorts of fun stuff, I think is probably almost the busiest time, and hiring. So in terms of how it'll interact with the caper, I think you'll see some familiar faces on both sides. I think there'll be some people who are in both places. I think you'll see some sort of complementary chocolates that might be balancing out what we're doing at the cafe, or some interactions there. And you'll see Elizabeth and I certainly wandering between the two. We do have a manager at the Caper now, so we are able to step back a little bit more than we used to be able to, and we're looking for a manager for the cafe right now. So if you're let us know at chocolatecaper.com. Ironically, let us know about Kickback Cafe. So we are looking for a manager right now who will certainly be very, very involved in all aspects of the cafe. That we'll be relying on a lot. And I think we have so many shared agreements between the two. We share each other's equipment. We had to develop agreements for the health department, but we just have a lot of the kitchen and the back of the Caper are very interconnected. So there's a lot of flow between the two.
Well, again, of what you can share, is there anything else you can tease to the Oregon community before that cafe opens?
I'm just trying to think of. We will have sidewalk seating, so that's just good to know. I can just say the reason we opened Kickback was because of wanting to do, because we think good things that are good for the community are good business, and good business is doing, it goes both ways. And so that premise is what's driving a lot of what we're doing with the cafe. Exactly how we're implementing that's what'll come out over the next little bit.
All right, Dan. Well, thank you for updating us on how everything is going at the Chocolate Caper, as well as Kickback with the up and coming Kickback Cafe. I'll ask you one more time: is there anything else you'd like to add and share with us before we wrap up our show today?
No, just come and visit downtown. I mean, everyone is open. We've got a lot of new businesses down here. It's a good place to wander around. Afternoon for shopping, evening for food. Everyone, I think, is doing a really good job keeping things safe. So just come down and check us out. We're here.
That's a great way, I think, to end this, to conclude, Dan, and thank you for taking the time out of your really busy schedule to come on the show today. And as always, to our viewers, I think we're going to be scaling back episodes just a little bit, so expect to see us every other Thursday at 7 p.m. our usual time.